guys, I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Knock at the Cabin again. So if you've seen my previous video, you know that I went in and watched Knock at the Cabin, and you already know that I was really excited about it. I gave you like an overall thoughts on the film, and I mentioned that they did change a few things from the book, which I loved the book. So I just had to give you a comparison, talk about spoilers, and that's what I'm here to talk about. As you can see by the title, this is a movie versus book comparison. So because of that, obviously spoilers for both the book and the movie. I'm gonna start by saying that I think I did mention this in my spoiler-free review of the film, but they did stick pretty close to the book up until one point of the film, and from that point on everything changed. It just made sense. There's one big detail that they changed and that influenced like the rest of the film. So that's what I can say without getting into spoilers. Probably what I'm gonna mention after this, the things that they did right, like the things that are exactly the same in the book. They're probably not really spoilers either, so I guess you can stick for that part. But obviously what they change, I'm gonna talk about major plot points from both the book and the film. So yeah, just a warning. But if you want to know what they changed and what they didn't, stick around and yeah, let's get to it. So as I said, I'm gonna start with everything that is the same in both the film and the book. Again, like half of the film is exactly like it is in the book. The beginning is really similar. Obviously there's a lot more like detail and a lot more dialogue and stuff in the book, but like the conversation between Wen and Leonard in the beginning about the grasshoppers and everything, it's exactly basically the same in the book. How they get in is pretty much the same as far as I remember. Yeah, they also try to get into the cabin and force their way in to the cabin. Herrick having a concussion also happens like that. Redmond being the first one to be like sacrificed, he's also the first one, and it happens pretty much like it happens in the movie. And how Herrick sees like a light when they're sacrificing Redmond, that also happens in the book. And that's basically where the similarities stop. There's another scene later on when Andrew goes and gets his gun from the car and Sabrina goes after him. That scene is really close to the book as well, like pretty much the same. Then the fight between Leonard and Andrew for the gun is similar enough, although they changed one key moment, the most important thing about that interaction, which I'm gonna talk in a second. But yeah, they do struggle for the gun. That was a really like intense moment while I was watching the film, because I knew what was going to happen, like what happened in the book, and I was like, yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna stick to what happens in the book, which they don't. So yeah, that was a tense moment. And the things that happen, like the apocalypse things that happen, are pretty much the same as well. Like the tsunamis are the same. The plague is pretty similar, although in the book it's a bird plague. So, but it's pretty similar, and the planes crashing is also exactly like it is in the book, and that's where the similarities end. Like everything from that point on, like from, I would say, everything that happens after Redmond dies has a few changes, and the ending is pretty different. So let's get to that. So, big spoilers now. Yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled about the book or the movie, don't watch now because I'm gonna spoil a major event. You've been warned. So, the major thing that they changed from the book to the movie is that Gwen doesn't die in the film. So Gwen dies in the book. It's pretty shocking. I just couldn't believe it. And I guess, I mean, I understand why they did it. It's a bit shocking, like a kid dying. But honestly, I think that would have made the movie so much more like impactful and definitely shocking, obviously, because I don't think anyone would be expecting that. But I can kind of understand. I would prefer to see the events as they happen in the book, apart from like the very end, which I'll talk about. But yeah, that part, because they changed it, everything else that happens after that had to be changed. It wouldn't make sense to have the same ending as it is in the book. So yeah, I'm gonna talk everything that happens after that, and also a few things that happened before that, because like Adrian is sacrificed in the movie, which that doesn't happen in the book. In the book, she's killed by Andrew when he goes to get his gun from the car. Like the whole thing with Sabrina happens. That is exactly like the movie is exactly like it is in the book. But then when he comes back into the cabin, they're like fighting or something, and Adrian goes to attack Andrew and he kills her. A bit similar like what happens with Sabrina in the movie, but in the book, instead of being Sabrina, it's Adrian, so she isn't sacrificed. Something else that is slightly changed is how when like what Gwen does to get Eric and Andrew free. So in the movie, she makes a fuss about watching cartoons. In the book, she's worried about her grasshoppers being outside in the sun, inside the jar, and she's afraid that they might be dead. It's way more like epic, honestly, but I get it. I'm not really mad at that change. I understand it. But yeah, so Eric gets free. That's after him, that's when Andrew gets free, and the whole thing with Sabrina going outside to the car, all of that happens. Andrew gets inside the cabin, kills Adrian. Then Leonard and Andrew fight for the gun, and that's when accidentally they kill Gwen. Yeah, that's the most shocking bit of the book, obviously. Here, it doesn't happen. I mean, they do struggle for the gun, but yeah, they don't kill Gwen, as I said. And yeah, from that point on, a lot of things are changed. So after that, in the book, Andrew ties up Leonard. Leonard is like pretty shaken up because he swears to protect Gwen, which that doesn't happen in the movie. So yeah, Andrew ties up Leonard. They see the flu thing because Adrian died. And then it's time for Leonard to be sacrificed, so he isn't the last one to die. So Sabrina kills Leonard, like in that trance. They see the whole thing with the planes, and after that, Sabrina starts doubting like what they are doing. So she decides to show Andrew and Eric where their car is, like the car from that the group came in. And when they get to the car, Sabrina kills herself. And at that point, Eric is still like believing that the whole thing is true, so he tries to like sacrifice himself. He tries to get Andrew to kill Eric, just like it happens in the movie. But unlike what happens in the movie, which again, big spoilers, Andrew does kill Eric and they prevent the apocalypse, so we like figure out everything was real. In the book, Andrew is able to change Eric's mind. Both of them stay alive, and the book just ends like that, so we don't really know what happens after that. We don't know if the apocalypse was real. We don't know if they like do really stay alive. As far as we know, like they decide to be together, but we don't know if the apocalypse kills everyone, if the apocalypse kills them, if the apocalypse is even real. So we don't know anything about that. So the book ends in a pretty ambiguous note. Not only we don't know anything about those things, but we also don't find out about Redmond. That's something else that they changed in the movie. We do see that Redmond is O'Bannon, the guy that attacked Andrew in the bar. In the book, we never find out that, like, we never really know if Andrew was right or not. So there's a lot of things left, like, open-ended in the book, and the movie just ties everything together with a bow. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, which was something that I didn't love about the movie. Like what they did way at the beginning and everything that they did that is exactly like it is in the book. It's perfect. I really liked all of that, but them changing like what happens to Wen and everything like just ending so like, yeah, everything is just really straightforward. I would prefer something a little bit more ambiguous, but I don't know. I still like the film. Don't get me wrong. I gave it a 3.5 and I went and watched it again last night. I still gave it a 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, the book is just like a 5 out of 5 for me. And yeah, I just wish they didn't change that little thing. They could have changed the ending because I wasn't super into it either. But yeah, I think Wen dying would be like way more impactful. So yeah, these are the things that the movie changed about the book. I don't know, have you read the book? Let me know in the comments if you did. Have you seen the movie already? Also let me know. So if you read the book and watched the film, I really want to know what you thought. Did you like the changes? Did you not like? Do you prefer the ending of the book or do you prefer the ending of the movie? Like, I don't know. Let me know everything in the comments. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!